On the count of three, here we go. 1, 2, 3, here for? All right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, I like this group. Listen, no favorites. The first group was amazing too, but I think we getting some energy down the end of the day. That sound right? Cool. All right, if you like energy, can I see a thumbs up? Like, hold on, I want some good energy. Like, okay, good vibes. Okay, love it. How we doing over here? I missed this side of the room. How we doing? Good energy? All the way to the back? We good? Okay, beautiful. How we doing up here? We good? All right. Awesome. By show of hands, who's here for the second time? I heard some people are in the room. Wow. I heard some people who came back. That's amazing. Can we clap up our folks who came back to an assembly that they saw? Beautiful. That's a blessing. So, by show of hands, how many people want to be successful? Come on, here we go. Oh, yeah, this is nice. Let's do it. Oh, amazing. They like, what? Success? Of course. What you mean, John? Beautiful. Okay. How many of us feel like you're already successful? I'm not going to lie, John, I'm good where I'm at. I got it. I got a couple of accomplishments. I'm doing good in my classes. I'm doing good. Okay. How many of us feel like I'm not successful? I'm not gonna lie, not yet. I'm working on some stuff. I could get there. It's okay, don't be afraid, hang on. We all been there, we might be there. Check it out. Okay, cool. So what if I told you that no matter what you answered or where you are in your journey, that the information I'm gonna share to you today will be able to positively impact your life and change your decisions forever? Would you like that? Like if I like success, come on, if I need some successful decisions, make some noise. I wanna see success. Okay. Awesome, right? What we want to do is get into that information. I want to give you guys some value, right? And so the biggest thing to make sure that you understand, if you hear nothing else, right? Like if you're about to go, sometimes we can be absent-minded and you kind of daydream and you don't hear anything that I say for the next 25 minutes of this presentation. I want you to remember this. Here we go. Your decisions will dictate your destiny. Y'all with me? Hold on, thumbs up. I like to make sure we together. Okay, nobody left behind. Okay, yes. Here we go. Your decisions will dictate your destiny. So on the count of three, I like this group right here. Y'all having fun with it, okay? We're going to say it together, right? Not too hard. My decisions will dictate my destiny. And I'll tell you why this makes sense, okay? So let's try it together. Come on, here we go. My decisions will dictate my destiny. Make some noise for your future. Here we go. Woo! I'm excited. Let's get going. Here we go. If this clicker going to work with me today. Okay. Earth to the clicker. Hold on. Don't worry about it. We coming. Stay with us. Hang on. Don't worry. I've seen worse. A projector turned off on me in the middle of a presentation. So we're built for it. It's all right. It'll work. Hang on. Let's try it one more time. All right. Clickers with us. Here we go. Yeah, I like that. Awesome. See, sometimes in life, things happen that you got to adjust to, ladies and gentlemen. You got to you roll with it. It could be as simple as a clicker. I don't know what it will be for you, right? But be ready to adjust and make the right decision. We'll get into it, right? So today we're talking about pausing, right? And I promise you, this is not your ordinary presentation. So the first thing I'm asking for you, I'm only asking for 2. Check it out. Here we go. And in order to receive this, you have to do number 1, real respect. What do we mean by that? What you give is what you get. I would never ask from you for something that I'm not giving in return. And so right now I'm asking that you sit up right, sit up straight, right? Body posture, eye contact. This is a focus that I do in my work professionally. I help people show up, how they communicate, what you say, but most importantly, what you don't say. Some studies show that communication is up to 90% nonverbal. That means that how you show up before you open your mouth can tell me a lot about you before you say anything. So I would never encourage any of you to slouch or look at your phone. That would be a disservice to us. So I want you to challenge yourself for these next 25 minutes to lock in to the best of your ability. That means not looking at your phone if you can. If you have to take care of an emergency, please do that. If you have to use the restroom, take care of it. But if there's nothing pressing, I challenge you to tap into this full value that we came here to give you. Sound good? When I say here for, you'll say a purpose. This will be our group call throughout our presentation, okay? It'll help us to resense ourselves. So let's try that and we'll get started. You guys ready? Yes. Hold on. You guys ready? Okay, Colony, it's my first time here at Colonie High School, so y'all gotta help me out. Let's try it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Here for? Okay, cool. We're going to work on that through the presentation, all right? I want us to remember that we're here for a reason. This woman was born in the twin island of Trinidad and Tobago. It's a Caribbean island. And in her living situation, it was real countryside. It was a small village. And she would grow up to do different tasks around the house, such as cleaning and tying up the yard. In fact, here's the house where she grew up. Well, she was able to get offered an opportunity to play netball, which is like basketball in Trinidad. And this opportunity would require her to go to the United States. As she paused to decide if she would accept this offer, she reflected and said, well, my whole life could change. She decided to accept the offer and followed her dream to the United States. That quest led her to become the mother of her own family. Now a mother of two. She was expecting her third child, thrilled and excited to be welcoming new life. Until one day, everything changed during a general checkup visit. She said, Doc, I'm excited. Third child, like, what's the news? Ma'am, I'm sorry, but we have some unfortunate news to share with you. Please sit down. Ma'am, I'm sorry, but the baby you've been carrying for 4 months has no heartbeat. The baby you've been carrying, ma'am, for 4 months is virtually dead. She didn't know where to turn, but thanks to a close friend, immaculate timing, and pausing for purpose, this baby lived. It was during this time that this baby committed its first heartbeat. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud and honored to share with you that that baby was me.
No way.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. This is a true story. Story about my mother, who journeyed from Trinidad. A lot of my life was about setting the example, giving back. Wasn't easy. Wasn't always fair. But it was something that taught me a lot of value. And so the reason I share this with you today is not only to share a story, but it's also so that you each find power in your own story. So now let's try that affirmation one more time. Let's see who's still with me. When I say here for, you say a purpose. Here for? Purpose. Here for? Purpose. We're talking about decision making. And so I need a helper real quick just to help me read this real nice and loud. Miss Judge is gonna come over and hand you the mic real nice and loud so the whole room hear you. You got it? Hang on, one mic, ladies and gentlemen, one mic. Don't read until you have everyone's attention, sir.
Process of evaluating options and selecting the best course of action.
And what was your name?
Sam.
Sam? Let's give a hand to Sam. So cool. Let's get it together. Decision making, what we talking about? Everybody makes decisions. Everybody makes decisions. Everybody makes decisions. Like just to come here was a decision. You ain't have to come to this assembly. Like what you wore today was a decision, right? Like listening to your parents is a decision. Listening to your mentors, going to class, listening to your teacher, like different things, like it's decisions, right? What you gonna eat for lunch? Decision, right? In fact, some studies show that average adult makes over 35,000 decisions a day, daily, just like that. 200 plus of those are on food. 200 plus. Anybody? I see some foodies in the middle. Anybody like food? I'm like a big. Oh wow. Got you. Okay. Beautiful. Right. But also there's bigger decisions that you might make. Right. Like where you might go to college, or what you might do after high school, or what kind of car you want to drive. Right. Different things like that. And so let's get one more representative. Who wants to read? Nice and loud.
And if you want to be a leader or a manager, you will most likely be making more for your ideas.
Beautiful. Your name? Oh. That's good. Any coaches? Captains in the room, team captains, club leaders, program leaders, or you want to be a manager one day, supervisor, you want to own something for yourself, you want to lead some people, maybe, okay, that's okay if not, that's okay. But if it is you, understanding that, right, decision making, stay with me, juniors and seniors, stay with me, that's important for you. Understanding that decision making is going to be huge for you, right? So what we'll do right now, really quickly, but very intentionally, we want to take a moment of silence for anyone who may have lost or experienced any accidents or fatalities from close family members, close friends, or even yourself as it relates to car accidents and distracted driving. So let's just take a moment and I'll tell you why in a moment. And so why we're doing that is because decisions sometimes can have a positive effect on our life or a negative effect on our life. That's just the truth of the matter. And so what we're talking about today is how well can we make positive decisions that will impact our life for the better, yes? Where we can. Accidents happen, but we are praying and we're hoping, right, that none of this will be the truth for any of you in this room, yes? Cool, cool. And so let's get one more representative to read this nice and loud. This will be our last one, and we'll keep moving. Nice and loud.
In 2020, 40% of those killed in crashes involving industry.
Awesome. And your name? Bryce. Give it up for Bryce. Nice. What this means, ladies and gentlemen, is that in a study, right, we don't have enough time to go deeper into it, right, but at least in 2020, we know that this amount of accidents that happened, right, unfortunately, that took someone's life for people your age or close to your age were also other people your age, but who were distracted and driving, who made the decision, right, to drive with distractions. And so we're hoping to bring in this idea of how important it is to make decisions, not just in driving or anything in specific, but in life, right? But especially in these moments. If you're still with me, thumbs up. Let me just make sure we good. Okay, I like this group. Let's get it. Here we go. Wins, wins, wins. If you like wins, let me hear you say wins. Okay, cool. I like wins too. Let me show you a little bit, right? Here's what we're talking about today. Higher academic achievement, better school attendance, higher levels of self-esteem and confidence, feel more prepared for future goals in life after high school. If you saw anything on this list that you would love or you like in your life, can you make some noise for this? Okay, right? This is good stuff, right? This is positive stuff, and these are benefits of making powerful decisions, and that's why I'm here sharing this with you. So I feel like the energy is good. We're ready for it. Let's get into number one. Check it out. If you are good with phone notes, or if you have a pen and paper, or you're good mentally, all of that works. This is the only time I will allow you to use your phone, but I want you to make sure you lock in on this part. This is the main part of today. Like after we get through this, you out. That's it. Cool with you guys? I'm not here to bore you guys. Get it. So number one, pause. I'm gonna give you a 5-letter acronym real quick. I'm gonna be real short and sweet. And this tool will allow you to hopefully make better decisions. I'm not saying that it'll work for everyone or it's your cup of tea, but this is something I'm suggesting to you will help your decision making in life. Number one, pause, right? And so it's funny, sometimes as I work with young people, I gotta be careful sometimes what I say and sometimes how I talk, it could be taken a little wrong way. And so I think you're getting where I'm going already, right? Sometimes if things could be taken wrong, what my youngins are telling me is, yo, pause, John. Raise your hand if you used pause like that before. Like, yo, I'm checking. People better talk properly and get it to get pause. Okay, and some of us may know, some of us may not, but that's something that's kind of been a part of, I think, many people's different culture, just like pause. Hold on, say it this way. And so why I share that is because even though that's a joke and a funny thing, what it's asking you to do is stop and look at what you're saying, yes? And so similarly, that's what I'm suggesting to you to do today, but for your life decisions. Number one, real quick, how to remember it, what am I doing? Just ask yourself, what am I doing? Some of us got to think about that. What am I doing right now? Hold on. What am I doing? Who am I with? Who am I talking to? Why am I here? What am I doing? Pause. Check it out, guys. This was me, senior year, high school. Somebody said, oh my God. Damn, come on, Colonie. Yo. Just kidding, right? But I want to keep it real. If you like keeping it real, let me see thumbs up. I like keeping it real. Keep it real, all the way real. Tell the whole story. Senior year, right? 16 years old. I was at the top of my game. I'm ready to leave high school. I done been in here for 4 years in Brooklyn, New York. That's where I'm born and raised. This is where I was at. I had 3 classes, y'all. Health, English, and gym. I had worked so hard up until now that I afforded myself a short schedule. And I started at 12 noon in the afternoon. Think about it. I feel like that's a high school's dream. And I was just in the shower. I was getting ready. I was the last person to leave the house. My young siblings went to school. My mom went to work. And I was when I'm in the shower, I'm going in. I'm like, yo, I'm blasting music. I'm at the top of my world. Not focused. Starting school late. Cutting class. I started doing so much bad decisions, y'all, that I ended up on the list to not graduate. True story. I was this close to failing out of high school. And I want to share with you how some of my decisions impacted me and came back to bite me. Number 2, I told you guys, I'm going to be quick. Number 2, we already on number 2, analyze. So remember, we talked about what am I doing? That's what you should be thinking about when you're thinking about making your decisions. Number 2, I want you to think about what are my options? What do I have? What's going on? What's my options? Any sports players? Athletes? Athletes in the room? Athletes? Okay, beautiful. The reason I think of that is when I think about sports, I love basketball and other sports, there are many times where you have to think about your options. Who I got to pass to? Who's open, right? There are many times where you're going to have to look at your life and say, what are my options? And so this was me as I thought about my options. What can I do? I'm like, yo, I could go to the lunchroom and chill, or I could go to class. I'm going to the lunchroom and chilling. And one thing after another, that bad habit turned into an even worse habit to where I would show up to school and not attend any of my classes. I want you guys to hear me. I was the senior year. Seniors in the room, raise your hand. Seniors. Juniors. So that means we have mostly juniors. Beautiful. And so this was my attitude. I was too cool for school. I caught a horrible case of senioritis. But one day I decided to waltz into class. And I came into English class, and as I waltzed in, the English teacher got a call. He said, hello? Right? I'm trying to reenact it. And I can't remember what he said, but the important thing, he said, John, you're wanted down in the principal's office. And as I went down into the office, I noticed 5 people. My health teacher, my English teacher, my gym teacher, my principal, and my mother. All 5. Yeah, that was my reaction as well, right? Just picture that. And it turns out my mom set up a meeting for me being in tune with my grades. And a lot was said to me that day, but I can remember this one line. You would be stupid. It's a little harsh, but my school was real family oriented. And not to mention the principal were real close friends with my mom. So it was just like, we know you. You would be stupid. You fill in the blank with whatever makes sense for you. Silly. To work this hard, to get this far, to give up now. It was the wake-up call I needed, guys. From that day, I decided to turn my life around. Number 3, here we go. Understand. Stay with me. We have pause. What am I doing? Analyze. What are my options? Here's number 3. Understand. You got to think about what will most likely happen after I do this. Whatever decision that is, right? I have to think about it. When I thought about what would happen if I continue cutting class, that's what I thought about. Right. I'm like, my mom might just kick me out. I'm just kidding. My mom was real nice, but she was also strict. So I was like, I don't know what might happen. Right. But I also thought about this. What if I make it? What if I finish? You mean I can turn my act around? You mean that I'm not too far gone? You mean you believe in me more than I believe in myself? And so I don't know what your story is or what your reason is, but I'm hoping that we find purpose, right, wherever you are. And so after that, after I thought about my consequences, I said, okay, people believing in me. I got to go ahead and turn this thing around. And so I decided to do just that, seek guidance. I mentioned that my mom and those teachers stood in the gap for me. Many of you might have mentors and teachers who are helping you out, right? I want you to think about who can help you with whatever decision you're going through, right? For me, it was class. It was a tough thing to bring back my academics, but for you, it might be saying no to a drug or alcohol, saying no to taking full advantage of this new freedom that some of you might earn with a new license or a new diploma. You guys with me? Stay with me. We with me? All the way in the back row, all the way closer to the door. Just checking on y'all, it's okay. This new freedom, being responsible. No one's saying not to have fun. I don't want you guys to take away from this that I showed y'all me at 16. I was on the lunchroom table. You saw me, right? Having fun. But what it is making sure you don't miss the message, right? Like don't miss your opportunity to take serious what's in front of you, right? And what I want to emphasize to you is that it's not weak to ask for help, right? It is not weak to ask for help. Sometimes we need that help. Hey, can you help me with this? Hey, what did you do when you were my age? Right? Like, what did you do when you struggled with this? And you're gaining insight on how you should move forward. Why is that important? Because only you know what you struggle with. Like, it was up to me to pick up my act and turn myself around. Like, it was up to me to start going to class. None of my friends were with me. It was up to me to decide that this friend group don't identify with me. Like, it was up to me to not get in certain cars, in certain places where certain things were around that I didn't support. Like, it was up to me when I smelled the odor of drugs and different things, and I said, you know what, I don't feel like this is a good spot. I'm being honest with you guys. Like, it was up to me to leave downtown Brooklyn and go home knowing that I had to pick up my siblings. Like, we just got 2 different realities. It don't make us no different. I don't look down on you. I don't disrespect nobody, but I find power in my purpose. With me? Yes. And so that's what we're talking about when we think about pause. Last one. Here we go. Execute. Let's say that together on 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, they got it over here. Let's see over here. 1, 2, 3. Execute. 1, 2, 3. Execute. This is the most important piece. Execute and do it with confidence. I want you to trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. You might not know it all. I don't got it all figured out. I don't know how after high school gonna look. I don't know what this is. I'm scared. I don't know. I got a bad grade. I failed this exam. I failed this test. I don't feel capable. Where am I gonna take sports next? Who's gonna accept me? I can't afford it. I don't know what your truth is. But for me, taking serious the things that were in front of me, going to class when that was for me. Like, stop cutting class. Like letting go of the distractions, whatever that might be for you. Maybe for you, it's like turning your social media off. Maybe it's not letting these group chats and different things, right, get into you. Maybe it's not letting other people's opinions affect where you're going. But whatever it is, I want you to execute on who you are. If that's making sense, if y'all got it so far, that wasn't too much, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Make some noise for y'all focus. I like that, I like that, I like that, I like that. Here we go. I'm wrapping up. We're on our last swing here. We're on our last swing. Here we go. Let me show you, let me prove it to you. Can I prove it to you? Can I prove to you that this works? I just don't want to tell you something just like, oh, okay, here's these things that work, and then we go, and then, okay. Now, let me show you. Here's what pausing and executing on my decisions, here's what it did for me. I was able to graduate. That kid that you saw at the beginning, I turned my act around. I graduated high school, ladies and gentlemen, on time. It wasn't easy. Started making up work, doing things that other people who were on the right track were doing. But that was just my truth. Delayed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate you guys. And it didn't stop there. I went on to achieve my college degree where I came up to upstate New York, Albany, New York. The first time I was away from home this far in my life. The first time I was away from my mom, 3 hours up north, and pursued higher education, became a first-generation graduate for my family. What that means is you are the first person in your family to graduate. It's okay if you're not the first here today, by the way, or the second or the third. Like, just decide what you're gonna be, though. Like, just figure out who you're gonna be. Almost 1,600 people in this school, right? When I studied, I saw 1,600 people in this school alone. Like, who are you going to be? And for me, I decided I wanted more. And so as I continued to push, guys, it didn't stop there. I'm wrapping up. I was able to achieve and acquire my own LLC, which I acquired just a little bit over a year ago, where I started my own business, as Mrs. Judge so humbly shared with you all, where I now run and fully operate my work, all from a decision. Why do I share this? Come on, somebody ask me, why do you share this, John? Like, why? Just tell me why. Why are you sharing this? Because I'm hoping that you will find power in your own story, guys. This is me building my first desk. On the right, that's me feeling some of the pressures of running my own business. I never saw myself doing this. I just kept chasing my decisions. I just kept making one right decision after another, and you'll be surprised how your life changes for the better. For me, my decisions took me from Brooklyn to Albany and so much more, where I was able to travel to Africa, where I lived for 2 months, changed my life, a kid from Brooklyn, to where I just continue to grow and learn and respect others and believe that I have more, that I'm here for a purpose. It's the same belief I'm trying to share with you today, right? And so as you take your time in your process, I don't want anybody to leave here pressured, like they got to do this, or they, like, don't feel pressured. But I want you to feel encouraged and empowered wherever you are. And so now I have the opportunity to build and present with amazing young people like yourself, where I go across the region sharing my message and presenting on different issues that schools and organizations will bring me in for. But most of all, we have the opportunity to share space and just learn, because I do not know it all. And I myself need help with making my decisions. But what I do know is that the things that have showed me power in my process, I hold on to those, and I don't compromise. I don't compromise my responsibilities. And so I want to remind you guys, as we're in prom season and graduation season, anybody excited for prom season? Like, come on, where we at? You excited? It's okay, you raise your hand. In your excitement, enjoy it, right? Experience it, but pay attention and remember to pause in moments where you need to. So important when we think about accidents and things that don't need to happen. We want to make sure y'all enjoy and treat your life, treat yourself, treat others with respect. So your decisions will literally matter. Like, don't let anybody fool you and say you're young, you have time. Yes, but your decisions will dictate your destiny. Yes? You guys have been an honor. I'm so humbled and honored and super grateful to the staff and administration at Colonie High School for hosting me for 2 assemblies. Can you make some noise for that? 2 assemblies? Yep. All right, so when I say here for, you're gonna scream to the top of your lungs, a purpose. We wanna make sure we understand we're here for a reason. Let's try it, let's give it a try. So on the count of 3, hold on, let me get it right. On the count of 3, here we go.
John was captivating, engaging, relevant, interesting, and our students absolutely responded to his presentation.
John came to our school today and did a presentation for our juniors and seniors, exactly what they needed with the newfound freedom that many of these kids have. He made sure to drive home the point that decisions do define you and bad choices can change your life forever.
1, 2, 3, here for? Let's do it one more time.
Thought John did a great job. You know, the kids definitely were engaged in the presentation.
One more time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Here for?
To be frank, I was just really impressed with John's movement throughout the presentation to make sure our students were with him, and then him asking them to partake. It was fun, and it was meaningful, it was important, and John Johnson did a great job. So we were grateful to have him here with us today at Colonie.
Oh man, thank you guys so much. I'm John Johnson.